thick clouds appear on the horizon, carrying a promise from the sky. October arrives, and with it, the short, rainy season. A powerful transition that awakens life and soothes the harsh traces of nature. The ground seems to breathe a sigh of relief as the young grass shoots begin to sprout, covering the vast savanna with a fresh green carpet. In response to nature's call, the herds once again begin their migration to the promised land, where an abundant life awaits them. This journey is not just a search for food, but an immersion in the endless rhythm of creation. When December arrives, the migratory cycle closes with the return of the dry season. Will we let this majestic spectacle remain only in memory, or will we stand up to protect a sustainable future? An urgent cry for help echoes from the Serengeti, where the largest migrations on the planet are under threat. The Serengeti is facing a multitude of challenges. These problems not only come from natural phenomena, but also silently arise from the invisible interventions of man. The average temperature in the Serengeti has risen by about 1.5 degrees Celsius in recent decades, causing unusual droughts. More alarmingly, in the last 40 years, the number of large mammal species in the Serengeti has decreased by 70 to 90%. In addition, the expansion of agriculture and the construction of infrastructure have put great pressure on the Serengeti, causing the loss or degradation of about 35% of the natural grassland area. The Serengeti ecosystem, with its majesty and splendor, is facing unprecedented challenges. Among these devastating impacts, the black rhino has become the main victim of poaching. However, in the Serengeti, a ray of hope continues to shine, as the number of black rhinos has increased tenfold since the 1990s. Thanks to tireless conservation efforts. The Rhino Conservation Project, led by the Frankfurt Zoological Society, has implemented anti-poaching measures. Currently, the Serengeti has a vast conservation system in which the national park occupies a central position with an area of about 14,750 square kilometers. The Serengeti ecosystem includes many wildlife reserves in Tanzania and Kenya. These efforts cannot be separated from the need to balance tourism and nature. This is not just an effort to save nature, but also an act of respect for creation, where God has given us the wild beauty to protect and preserve it. The arid ground of Okakwijo trembles under the heavy, steady hooves of a herd of blue wildebeest. Standing about 4 feet at the shoulder and weighing an average of 440 pounds, these antelopes possess a muscular, powerful build. Despite their cumbersome frame, blue wildebeest are surprisingly agile. When threatened, they can reach speeds of up to 50 miles per hour. These animals live in herds from a few dozen to several thousand. A social behavior that plays a crucial role in shaping the unique ecosystem of Okakwajo. As specialized grazers, blue wildebeests primarily feed on the short grasses that grow quickly after the rains. At Okakwajo, artificial waterholes provide a vital lifeline during these harsh months. The wildebeest often gather at these drinking spots in the early morning or late afternoon. By grazing regularly and moving frequently in search of fresh grass, the wildebeest prevent the vegetation from becoming too dense or old. Their feeding habits encourage new plant growth, allowing the landscape to renew itself after each rainy season. Migration is one of the most important survival behaviors for the blue wildebeest. However, this instinct is increasingly being disrupted across Africa. Man-made barriers, an expanding road network, and land development have fragmented their habitat. At Etosha, migration routes still exist but are increasingly restricted. Scientists warned that as migration corridors shrink, isolated herds face the risk of declining genetic diversity, an invisible but serious threat to the species' long-term adaptability.